So I recently played through and finished Paranormal The Mermaid's Curse. This is not a direct sequel to Paranormal The Seven Mysteries of Honjo, but it does take place in the same universe and a bit in the future. If you played through The Seven Mysteries of Honjo and liked it, I highly recommend this game. If you haven't played through The Seven Mysteries of Honjo, I still highly recommend this game. I also recommend the first game, but it really doesn't matter which order you play the games in. They're basically entirely separate and self-contained. Paranormal The Mermaid's Curse is a horror mystery visual novel that takes place in Ise Shima, Japan. In the game, you alternate through various characters' perspectives as they encounter paranormal phenomenon. I do want to clarify that although it is a part of the horror genre, it is not a horror game at all. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that anyone can play through this game. Even someone who's as much of a scaredy cat as me can play through it without getting scared. The game features branching paths, like that of the 100-line Last Defense Academy, or the Zero Escape series. For the things that I liked about the game, I liked the gameplay, the art, the story, and the music. There are really two main gameplay situations. Parts where you are reading and you can choose dialogue options, and parts where you interact with the world and can click on parts of the screen to trigger new dialogue. Something that you can do is explore the world, but what I mean is you can drag the screen around to look around 360. And this is honestly very nice. There is also a diving minigame that you can play through. It's quite fun, although it's not really important to the story. The art's amazing as always, and consistent with the previous game. There's a VCR effect on the screen that makes it all look a bit distorted, and I like that. It makes everything feel a bit more retro since this takes place during the 1980s. The backgrounds are also amazing. They look like distorted real-life photos with the VCR effects. I honestly thought that the backgrounds were actual photos at some point, just slightly distorted and put on some Snapchat filter. The story is where this game shines, and this is essential for any visual novel. You go through various characters, Yuza Minakuchi, Sato Shiranami, Yumeko Shiki, and Arnav Barnum. You go through each one of their perspectives. I really like how the game makes each character interact and intertwine with their storylines. You get a real good grasp about why each character is where they are and why they're doing what they're doing. And yeah, the overall cast of this game is very small, so sometimes it's extremely obvious who did something when it's supposed to be a bit of a mystery. But honestly, I think that's a part of the game's charm. It makes everything feel a bit more connected. The game also features a file system which provides notes on certain objects, people's profiles, and certain historical events that are important to the story. I really like it. It lets you read up on stuff, so if you've forgotten something or you accidentally skip some dialogue, you can just read the file to get a good grasp about what's going on. The background music also adds a lot to this game. It really helps build the atmosphere of the location and adds to the tension. Also, can I just point out that they made the Mockingbird theme way too fucking hard? Okay, on to my complaints. I wish the horror elements went a bit harder. This aspect was feeling a bit lacking, especially compared to the first game. The process to unlock the true ending was a bit too complex and sometimes BS. Also, Arnav's inventory system for that one story node felt a bit out of place. As a player from the first game, the instant I saw that, I knew we were about to engage in a fight, but I think it would have made a lot more sense if Arnav just had that inventory system from the very beginning. He's supposed to be the adventurous one, the one who actually collects stuff, so it makes sense that he would have it. I think the story would have made a bit more sense if you were forced to reach the bad end before being able to see the Tomokazuki, but that might just be me. Also, it feels a bit weird seeing characters pretend not to know things when they actually know the answer, and you get revealed later that they were just stolen for time or something. Overall, I honestly just wish there was more to the conclusion. I want to know what happened to more of the characters. What happened to Cersei? What happened to Arnav? What happened to Yumiko? What happened to Soto? What happened to all these characters that you care about? Also, Yumiko Shiki looks like she's just missing a branch from the story. Also, it just feels like there's less nodes than the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. I wish they had the CCTV effect back on it where everything looked a bit round. Anyways, I overall really like this game, and I wish more people would give it a shot. And I cannot stress that enough. I fucking love this game. It's so good. Thanks for watching. I'd rate this game a Drill Warrior, and I hope you have a nice rest of the day.